the rise of content creators playing Rainbow Six Siege. And I think that's probably been the case now over the last week to 2 weeks, I think, for the most part. Now, I think a lot of this is probably a flow-on effect from Jinxie, what he's been able to do, the notoriety that he has gained has probably seen others go, hey, why don't we go and try our hand at Rainbow?
Yeah, there's been a big influx. Dr. Disrespect, Tim the Tapman,
Nick Merckx, I think,
Nick
as
Merckx,
well.
yeah, the whole bunch of that crew have been jumping on amongst others. And look, it hasn't just been a one and done. They've all done multiple streams, 5-6 hours plus. The sentiment amongst them and from the clips and stuff that I've seen and the content they're pushing out and the comment sections, etc., has actually been, quite positive. And the other asterisk on it is that, as far as I am aware, and 99% confident it's the truth, that these are not being paid activations. They're not like a hashtag classic ad or whatever. Ubisoft isn't shilling out for them to be playing the game and saying nice things about it. They're genuinely interested. They're giving it a crack. They're sticking with it. And I think that's obviously very positive for the game and the community.
It's also positive for Ubisoft because they don't have to spend any money.
That's always good.
There's a lot of other game titles that would be spending a lot of money to get these kind of content creators playing their game. So they get it for free advertising. And I hope that in some ways it has a solid flow-on effect, obviously, to the game itself. As we've spoken about in one of our recent episodes, the health of the game has been pretty good. The Steam chart numbers are showing positive growth. A lot of that can be attributed to many things. Obviously, seasonal launch, Jinxie's been a big factor, these new content creators getting on board. So it's kind of this snowball that's taking shape, and hopefully it just doesn't crash and burn and it keeps getting bigger and bigger. That's really the goal of it. So, and then the next part of that then would be, can that translate to, say, esports, for example? Does that bring viewers to the esports program? These people that obviously are watching the content creators might then play the game, like the game, then start to watch the game competitively. That's probably not something we would see much of now, because that's more of a future thing. The effects of seeing these people play the game and then their viewers playing the game themselves to then translate that to esports watching, that's something that's going to be more down the road.
Yeah, and I guess the next natural evolution, especially if Ubisoft are genuinely wanting to back them in, would be to get them co-streaming or get them out to these events in person. We see that a lot in Valorant, for instance, where, like Champions, for example, they have like dedicated booths where content creators, streamers, personalities actually co-stream the events live in person. Now, obviously, these streamers make a lot of money. You're pulling them away from their primary source of income. You're going to have to supplement that. They're going to, require you to pay up big for that kind of marketing. So you have to try and make that trade and that balance. Is it actually worth it? Because at the moment, Ubisoft can kind of just ride this wave. They're getting all this free marketing and exposure. But maybe, Atlanta possibly. Maybe, but probably looking at the likes of SI, I imagine.
I feel like Atlanta's probably too soon because it has been a bit of a recency thing in terms of the uptick in content creation. And I doubt Ubisoft is probably going to go and get maybe like an older school Siege content creator. They would like to probably get the new age ones, the ones that are coming in already have big followings elsewhere. And I think it's a little bit too new for that. As you said, maybe something like a 6 Invitational, that would be something I would aim for. The thing is, they also have to pay out of pocket for that. Like, you're not just going to go and get Dr. Disrespect to come for free.
No.
You got to think about how much money these content creators actually make across the board throughout the amount of time that they're spending live. If you have to get them to come over for a 6 Invitational, regardless of how long they're there for, that's still travel days. That's still actually there on the days itself. That's a lot of content creation days that they will be missing out on. That's a lot of money that they'll be missing out on. That's a lot of money out of Ubisoft's pocket. So they have to also kind of look at that. Is it then worth it? I think in some ways it could be, because you're kind of capitalizing on a new trend. And I think that's always a good thing to do. So again, I think Atlanta probably too soon for that. Maybe an SI in the future. But hey, look, more content creators that keep getting onto Siege, that's better for the game overall, the health of the game. And eventually, as I said before, that will translate to the esports program with time, probably not right away.